What's up, Super Squad? It's Jordan Gatelius. Welcome to another Zero to Hero training video. Just because you don't have a gym or any equipment doesn't mean you can't do those same workouts at home. Today, I'm going to show you how to do 3 of the most popular dumbbell workouts right at home with no equipment and no problem. Alright, Super Squad, let's get started. Dumbbells are a valuable piece of fitness equipment that are used to perform some of the most popular muscle building and fat shredding exercises. So if your gym is closed and you don't have access to any, does that mean you can't get in the same quality workouts at home? No, of course not. You don't need dumbbells, you don't need any expensive equipment. You really don't need anything to get in just as good of a workout right at home. And today I've got 3 training tutorials for 3 different muscle groups to prove it by showing you how to replicate 3 of the most popular dumbbell movements: the dumbbell press for the chest, the dumbbell curl for the biceps, and the dumbbell raise for the shoulders, all without any dumbbells, all by using just your own body weight. So let's get to it. Suit up, Super Squad. Most guys think that traditional push-ups will get the job done at home, and they will for a while. It's a great solid exercise, but eventually they'll get easier and easier. You could only pump out so many before mastering them, and that's when you'll want to take it to the next progression of being able to move your hands in a motion that mimics a dumbbell press. This takes push-ups to a whole new level by expanding and widening the range of motion through the pressing movement. Just like going from a bench press where your hands remain static and stationary in the same position throughout the move to a dumbbell chest press where your hands are able to move more freely from a wide to narrow positioning, which allows you to achieve greater stretches and contractions and ups the intensity by calling on more muscle stabilization work. And as you can see, all it takes to make this dumbbell movement work at home is simply being able to slide your hands across a surface to mimic that same motion. And this is easily done by throwing some towels down onto a slick surface right under your hands. Or you could even just slip a pair of socks over your hands. That'll work too. And all you've got to do is replicate that same exact dumbbell chest press movement by sliding your hands out as you lower yourself down and sliding them back together as you press yourself up, just like in a dumbbell chest press. And if you don't have a slick surface, let's say you have carpeting, no problem. Just use something slick that could be slid along that type of surface, like some plastic bags or something similar, to accomplish the same exact thing. And this isn't just restricted to simulating a flat bench dumbbell press. You can simulate an incline dumbbell press just the same by elevating your feet onto a raised surface and performing the same exact movement in the same exact way. And you can simulate a decline dumbbell press by elevating your hands onto a raised surface, and can even take it a step further and do alternating presses by pressing with one arm as you slide the other out, and alternating that movement between arms, just like in an alternating press. Even doing one arm presses to up the intensity even further. And the great thing about all of these is that they're really 2-in-1 multitasking time-saving exercises, because not only are you getting stronger and into better shape by doing them, you're also cleaning up your floors and your house. Now that's a superset. Most guys will try to simulate dumbbell curls at home by just curling heavy objects, but that doesn't always work because you don't always have something heavy enough to challenge you. The better option is to use your own body weight as resistance. This way you're more easily able to control the intensity of an exercise, all just by positioning yourself differently. And there's 3 ways to do this for the bicep curl. The first method is with door frame curls, where you stand in a doorway facing the side frame, gripping that frame and placing your feet further in towards the walls away from the edge of the frame. And to control the intensity of this one, the further in your feet are into the wall and the further from the edge of the frame they get, the more of a lean you'll get, the more of your body weight you'll use, and the more difficult this curl becomes. And of course, the closer they are to the frame, the less intense it'll be. Intensity and difficulty for this is all about your feet positioning. Balancing on your ankles as opposed to being flat-footed will also increase the difficulty. And once you've got your form down, replicating the dumbbell bicep curl is all just about curling yourself in that door frame. Making sure, just like with any exercise, you're going at a steady tempo, controlling the entire movement, getting the deepest stretches and squeezing the greatest contractions out of every single rep. The second way of replicating this move is by doing underhand Australian pull-ups. This is normally done using a low bar, but you can do the same exact thing using a strong, sturdy table that won't crumble under your own weight and possibly kill you. I will not be held responsible for any table-related deaths or injuries. So get under a strong table and grab the edge with an underhand grip, and just the same, mimic that curling motion by pulling yourself up towards the table, squeezing a good contraction at the height of the motion, and reversing all that back into the stretch of the starting position. You can even raise the intensity and difficulty of this one by placing your feet onto an elevated surface when performing them. The third way of doing these doesn't require anything else except you, and these are underhand push-ups. 2 slightly differing variations you could do. The first is a traditional push-up motion just with an underhand grip. The second is performed in the same positioning, but changing the motion of the move to more closely resemble the motion of a curl by aiming to bring your shoulders to your hands, raising your butt upwards and pressing off the balls of your feet to drive even more resistance from your body weight into the curl at the contraction point. And those are 3 different ways you can easily perform curls at home and easily shut up all the people who always pipe in with the whole, "but what if you don't have so-and-so? How do you do that?" sort of comments. So if you don't have dumbbells, there's the door frame. And if you don't have that, there's the table. And if you don't have any of those, well, you can still do the last one, because I know there ain't no one out there without a floor. This last exercise is the traditional dumbbell shoulder raise, or dumbbell side raise, side lateral raise, whatever you want to call them. And this is another one you could replicate in multiple ways. The first is by using a towel, by gripping a towel with one hand at each end and continually and forcefully pulling each end outward. You already initiate tension in your shoulders. And to fully simulate the application of stimulation found in a dumbbell shoulder side raise, you want to fight against those opposing tensions in a side-to-side shoulder raising motion, just like in a dumbbell shoulder side raise. As you pull out and up with one arm to one side, you're simultaneously pulling out and down with the opposite arm, again creating opposing tensions in opposite directions, and then reversing the same exact method and motion to the opposite side. On the surface, I know this doesn't look like much more than some sort of strange towel-infused interpretive dance performance, but trust me, once you give it a try, you'll instantly feel how much it works your shoulders and how similar it actually feels to dumbbell shoulder side raises. The other method of doing these is again by just utilizing your own body weight in the proper positioning. In this case, it's getting on the floor in a side plank positioning. To get the widest range of motion with the deepest stretch, you want to start by reaching your free arm through your body, not literally, and rotating your upper body towards the ground. Then, activating from your shoulder of your grounded arm, extend your free arm outward and upwards towards the sky as you rotate your upper body to be parallel to the ground, facing out towards the side. Then reversing the motion back to the starting position. Again, making sure that you activate and engage this entire move through your grounded shoulder. That's what's going to help you trigger the same tension out of this move that you would with a dumbbell side lateral raise. And there it is, Super Squad. It isn't just go hard or go home. Now you see you can go hard at home. That's how you do 3 of the most popular dumbbell movements right at home with no dumbbells, no equipment, and no problems and no excuses getting the same supersizing, super shredding results out of them. You want to make sure you do each of these workouts for 3 sets, taking each of those sets to failure, falling within the 4 to 12 rep range, the ideal rep range for building muscle and gaining strength. And for even more detailed, in-depth training tips and tutorials for each of these exercises, links will be on the screen and in the description for the dedicated workouts playlist. To make sure no matter where you are, you can build that superhero physique with no problems. And you can't build a complete body without a complete intake. So make sure to subscribe to the Super Vegan, another Zero to Hero Athletics channel completely dedicated to that. And to get everything strategically structured in full step-by-step training guides, head over to zerotoherotransformation.com to get started and find the right one for you. For all the best ways you could be supersizing and super shredding your superhero physique for the ultimate zero to hero transformation. If you enjoyed this training video, make sure you Hulk smash that like button. Share the video to share the gains and help someone else out and keep the Super Squad growing. Leave some comments below about what you'd like to see covered in future training. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any future Zero to Hero transformation tips. Always remember, Super Squad, you want to look like a superhero, train like a superhero, and I'll see you next time.